All right, let's get to your former teammate, Aaron Rodgers, who you, of course, won a Super Bowl with. He practiced today. I mean, obviously, he's not, out there running plays and stuff with the guys. But what do you make of this? Him out there and now within the 21-day practice window.
Look, I mean, it is what it is. Like he said, this is what he wanted to do. I think it's nice. It's cute. It's like, okay, he's out there on the practice field. He's not practicing. He's not running around, running mini drills,
right?
Like all full speed. Like that's not the case. However, he is out there. That's something. There's a lot to be said about just even getting to that moment and having this moment this soon. The reality of it is I don't care about what he's doing on the practice field unless he's in full go and he's actually practicing. You can miss me with all the extras, like unless he's full go, then talk to me. But then that puts me in a position of I'm watching and hoping that nothing happens, because if something then happens, all the security that's there with this coaching staff, now in my opinion, it's no more, because you would have put your quarterback at risk just because he wanted to prove a point.
Greg, 100% spot on. This is why the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since Moby Dick was a guppy and a Louisiana Purchase was signed. Because they keep doing the same old thing. Greg, you got a 40-year-old quarterback. Why would you rush him back? They have an offensive line that gave up 1 million sacks with Zach Wilson. When Aaron Rodgers got hurt, he was pressured on 3 of the 4 plays he played in to start the season. What is this, Greg? It makes no sense.
Yeah, you hit it, Rob. Like, this is an organization that they're desperate, right? So they're willing to do any and everything just to try to appear and appease the fan base and to appear relevant. Like, I get it. Their season was in ruins. The moment Aaron went down after those 4 games, or after those 4 snaps,
right,
their season was over. I don't think any of us believe that they had a chance to do anything special. And moving forward, now that it's kind of this lowered expectation of, okay, well, it's not year 1 of Aaron Rodgers any longer. Can he still find a way to get this team to be competitive even next year? And I don't know if that is even the case. With this type of significant injury, it's going to take time for him to get back to 100%. We'll see, man. Like you said, the Jets have been jetting since I've been born.
Yep. I grew up with that team. That was my team growing up, Greg. I used to go to Shea Stadium and take the 7 train and all that, and I've seen them do this over and over. And to me, you put him out there, can you imagine if he gets hurt, his career's over?
No, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. All right, let's go to tomorrow night. We got a big game on Thursday night. Seattle and Dallas in Dallas. Now, if you're a player on the Cowboys, Greg, and you've blown out all these bad teams, but you lost, obviously, to Philadelphia, no shame there, but you lost that game, and you lost badly to San Francisco. What is the mentality? Are you going into this game thinking, look, let's prove we can beat a good team? Or does it matter? The fact that you're blowing out these bad teams, does that make up erase kind of that memory against San Francisco and any doubt that might have created on that team?
Not at all. You don't. As a player, you don't care who's on your schedule. You can only play who's on your schedule. So you take care of business, and it's the way that the Dallas Cowboys have been approaching all these games. They can't. It doesn't matter who's on their schedule and who's up next. What really matters is if they get it done. Because even if you've been calling those teams tomato cans, if they would have lost to multiple tomato cans, that would have been even more of an indictment on that team, the organization. And so for me, you look at the Seattle Seahawks, they're a playoff team right now. They just have to get a win. I don't care how you get it. You just got to get one, because it applies pressure to a team in your division to then win on Sunday, and it gives you an opportunity to still try to reach your goal, which is capturing that number 1 overall seed.
All right.
No doubt it. No doubt about it. The talk about Micah Parsons saying that Dak Prescott should be ahead of Patrick Mahomes, or should be in the top 3, I guess is what he said, for MVP. Where are you on that with Dak? And is it just compiling numbers or strength of opponents and kind of wins factor in as well?
Look, I believe right now the way that Dak has been playing in these last few, he is the MVP of the National Football League. There's no player that you can put up against him that we can say, oh, yep, they've been playing better than Dak Prescott. You can't do that unless Tyreek Hill gets the 2K and the Dolphins.
What Jalen Hurts has done hasn't moved you at all.
Look, we don't. The problem with what Jalen Hurts and what he's done, he's had moments throughout the courses of these games, and I love Jalen Hurts, where he hasn't been the MVP. Like in last week's game, for 3 whole quarters, it was like, where's Jalen Hurts?
I mean, he had 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he had 5 touchdowns and the big one at the end.
Fourth quarter.
Right.
I totally hear you guys, but there has to be the wow factor. He has the wow factor. The Jalen Hurts, he has that. If this team continues to win and he continues to play at a high level, I think that he's putting together a season in a case of which you can argue his case. But Dak Prescott right now, his team is playing well. The only case that you can argue against him is the fact that, they're not playing tough opponents.
No,
I think that's huge, Greg. I think that's huge. The teams that he piles up the big numbers against, and all it takes is for another bad outing against a good team, and nobody will even consider Dak. That's the problem because of his history. That's why I don't think he's the MVP or he's even in the top 3 the way people are looking at it.
Okay, well, you're entitled to your own opinion, but you see how you went all the way back to bad history with that.
But I'm just saying.
We're talking about season. This is season to season. This season he has been impressive.
Do you remember the year? I think it was. I don't know which one it was for Aaron Rodgers when he won the MVP, but Tom Brady had better statistics, but better better totals, like more yards per passing or whatever, and more touchdowns. But Aaron had better big games against better teams than Tom Brady, and Aaron won it easily. You don't think that that factors in? I'm just asking you.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. We will see. If Dak continues to play well, regardless of who he's playing, just because he's playing these teams, if he weren't performing at the level that he's been performing, then absolutely he has no chance. But the fact that he's performing with these teams that he's been given to play on this schedule, look, you can't knock him for that, in my opinion.